My husband's coworker is destroying our marriage and he can't see it. 3 years ago, my husband Nathan started working with this woman, Jessica. I tried being nice at first. I invited her to our barbecue, included her in group dinners, the whole friendly wife thing. Big mistake. She spent the entire time making these little comments about everything. When I mentioned I teach yoga, she goes, "Oh, you're just a yoga instructor. How peaceful." When I brought out the food I made, she said, "I guess not everyone can master basic seasoning," but Nathan thought it was hilarious. The real problem started about 6 months in. Nathan had this coffee mug I gave him for our anniversary with our wedding photo on it. One day, I visit his office and notice it's gone. I asked him about it and he's like, "Oh, Jessica accidentally knocked it over and broke it." Then he repeated this joke she made about how it didn't fit the office aesthetic anyway. Our wedding photo didn't fit the office aesthetic. I tried talking to Nathan about how weird Jessica was being, but he just said I was being too sensitive, that Jessica just has high standards and a good sense of humor. Last year, she convinced Nathan to turn down a promotion because it would mean working on a different team. Not a different company, just a different team. The promotion wouldn't have increased his salary much, but it would have given him way more leadership experience and looked great on his resume. But Jessica told him he was already in the perfect position and shouldn't mess with a good thing, so he turned it down to stay on her team. When I asked him why, he said Jessica made some good points about career growth and staying where you're valued. She posts pictures of them together constantly on Instagram with hashtags like work hour couple and work spouse. She literally calls herself his work wife in the captions. When I brought this up to Nathan, he said it was just an office joke and that everyone has a work spouse these days. But it kept getting worse. She scheduled a mandatory work dinner on our actual anniversary. Nathan didn't even think twice about going. He came home at midnight smelling like wine and told me all about how Jessica had ordered this amazing dessert for the table. The absolute worst part is how she talks about our life to their coworkers. I found out from one of Nathan's other colleagues that Jessica tells everyone she takes better care of him than I do, that he'd fall apart without her keeping him organized. She even changed his coffee order. He used to get regular coffee with cream. Now he drinks some oat milk latte thing because Jessica said his old order was too basic. He acts like this is totally normal. Like having your coworker completely change your coffee order is just workplace bonding. Last month, I suggested we try marriage counseling because I felt like we weren't connecting anymore. Nathan looked genuinely confused and asked why we need that. Then later, I found out from another coworker that Jessica has been telling people we're going through a rough patch and that she's being a good friend by giving him someone to talk to. We weren't going through anything until she showed up. The breaking point happened last week. It was Nathan's birthday and Jessica was supposedly out sick. So I decided to surprise him at work with lunch from his favorite place. Guess who was sitting at his desk when I walked in? Jessica, completely healthy, with a birthday cake that said "to my work hubby" on it. The cake had a photo of them from the office Christmas party. Not a photo of us, a photo of them. She saw me standing there holding takeout containers and goes, "Oh, Lauren, you came too. How nice." Then she turned to Nathan and said, "You didn't tell me your real wife was coming." Your real wife. Nathan just stood there smiling like this was all totally fine and normal. Like his coworker calling herself his wife and bringing him a cake with her photo on it was just regular office culture. I left the lunch on his desk and walked out. That night, I told Nathan we needed to talk about Jessica. He got defensive immediately and said I was being jealous for no reason, that Jessica was just a good friend and coworker. I asked him if he realized she'd basically inserted herself into every part of our marriage, and he acted like I was crazy. So I showed him her Instagram, all the work spouse posts, the photos of them at dinners I wasn't invited to, the comments from their coworkers about what a cute couple they made. Nathan read through it all and then said, "This is just how offices are now. Everyone posts stuff like this." I'm now looking at divorce lawyers because my husband would rather keep his work wife happy than admit what's actually happening.